My name is Dave Davis, CTO DVS. Welcome to another how-to video involving Hikvision's access control product. So we're going to take a brief look at the readers, the control panel and the iVMS-4200 control software. I'll try and keep it as quick and condensed as possible, but try and maximize what we can show you and what benefits you'll get out of this system, so you can have a little bit of a better understanding before you go and make any decisions. So I'm going to turn you around and show you some of the hardware. Okay, so this is the two-door controller here. Hikvision make a single door, a two-door and a four-door controller, IP based. So network connection here, that will sit on the network. This one is actually a two-door controller. You can see you've got the mains power to power the unit there with an RCD breaker. You've got the fire alarm relay there. You've got all your controls, etc. here, and you've got on your left hand side the legend, which is stuck to the panel lid. Okay, so along the bottom here you've got your connection rail, and you'll find your most common connections are actually connected via this bottom rail system. So you'll find like your fire alarm interface there, so connecting that in will drop any of the relays to open any doors on fire alarm relay activation there, like we said. You've got your exit buttons, your door monitoring contacts, your weakened inputs, your request to exit, your lock outputs, 12 volts for any additional accessories, or if you've got like the 12 volts that needs power for the RTE, for the illumination. And you've also got your RS485 connections here. If I show you, give it a better look, let me take this GoPro and put it so you get a zoom in. So you can see the rail system along the bottom with the corresponding details. There's a better look at the actual board itself. The board is actually very, very well made. Okay. Two readers I've got actually connected to this panel currently are connected via RS485. Now, the Hikvision readers themselves, which I'll show you in a minute, support RS485 or weakened. So if you want to use it as a weakened output, that's fine. You wire the weakened output from the actual on the cable there. So two different readers. So an internal with keypad and an external with keypad. So you can set these up for card or card and pin, same with this one. The external one is probably the best one. It's very heavy duty, IP rated. This one is still okay, but most people I'd imagine would use this more ruggedized unit there. And we do another unit with a red band around the outside, illuminated red band. So you can wire the actual locks, the actual reader, sorry, in as RS485, which I've done here, or you can choose to use weakened. On the back of each reader, if I just flip this over, you have a nice little legend there which tells you what the color output's on the cable. I've wired these in just to show you directly into here for power and RS485, but you would obviously use the correct cable. If you open this flap here, you will see there's a lot of dip switches there. When you use the reader as an RS485 mode, it's very important that each reader, and again on this one, it's very important. There you go. You'll see dip switches there. It's very important if you do use the RS485 control method, you do need to set the dip switches on there so each one has its own unique address. Because it's like a data bus, so we need to know which one. So what happens is you can either wire them in a daisy chain, or I've done them directly into the panel so they're both grouped together there. Each one has its own separate ID. In the software, which I'll show you in a minute, it'll identify the reader model and firmware version by the RS485 data bus. So what it enables us to do is, on this two-door controller, whilst we've got two weakened inputs along the bottom there, we've also got weakened 1, 2, 3 and 4 along the top. So you can actually have read in and read out per door via weakened there. So you can either connect both readers on weakened up there, or you can connect them on RS485 in the bottom corner. If you use the 4-door unit, the 4-channel unit, we support 4 weakened inputs up there, but up to 8 RS485 readers. So for read in, read out on every door, you'd have to use RS485 combination for the 4-door, with each door having read in and read out. So again, all the panel is all lovely there. You can see all the legend, like I said, well constructed, What we will show you now is if I flip these back over, when you power the reader, you'll see there's got a heartbeat light on there. The blue will flash just to tell you it's in normal comms mode, and it's got a built-in buzzer as well. I'm going to go onto the software now, and we can show you what the software can do. But like you say, just up at the top here, you've also got some normally open, normally closed jumpers for changing some of the modes, like the locking. So you've got the two relays for the two-door lock, so that will actually show you. If I get a fob, if you give me 2 seconds, if I operate one of the locks, you can see the red LED will tell you the lock's operating, and you can actually, underneath there, you can see there's 2 little jumpers to change the position of the lock relay output there. You've got normal and initialized jumper to clear down all of the cache and settings within this unit itself, and then you've got some jumpers for the alarm outputs there to change the way they work. So yeah, what we'll do now is actually show you the software working, so bear with me for 2 minutes. Hello, welcome back to the next part of the how-to video, where we talk through the iVMS-4200. Of course, you can use Hike Central with the access control product, but that'll be a very different video. So today we're going to concentrate on the free of charge iVMS-4200. You can support up to 64 doors on the latest version, so just check by going to Help, About, and we are on the latest version currently. By the time you watch this, you may be on a later version again, but today, as it stands, this is the latest version. Now we've got 2 ways you can do this. In control panel, we can go to modules customization, and we have to select access control, status monitoring, etc. to be present, and we can click on OK on that. In the main menu then, you've got the access control option, or you've got tool, or access open, access control and video intercom wizard. So you can do either or. I'm going to go through the basics through the what would be considered a complete starter without using the wizard, so you get a better picture of how this goes together. So what we'll do is we'll go into, not the time and attendance module, the access control module. You'll see there it's scanning and found the online device of the 2-door controller. I've already activated it, and I've already given it an IP address, but it's the same as an IP camera. You need to activate it and then give it a password. We're now going to add this in, so add the client, nickname, DVS, demo, username, admin, and it's this. Click on add. That will now add in like a device. There we go, it's online. If you go remote configuration, it does take you into the configuration style. There isn't that much you need to do within this itself. It'll tell you the actual device number and firmware version. You can reboot it and update the files. You've got the security, because we do an encryption mode version, and we do the network settings there. That's really all it's going to give you. Most of the setting is actually done through the iVMS-4200 directly itself, so we can close that down. It's up to you where you start on this. I'm going to start as if I was going to do this myself, but you can start in any order you like. You can add the people first and then set up the controllers, or you can set up the controllers then add the people. It's entirely up to you. We'll start off by actually setting up the controller itself. So we go into the advanced functions there. What you'll see, there we go. So what you'll see when you go into advanced function, you'll see these sub menus here. So the access control parameters, card reader authentication, blah, 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 blah. We'll pass on all of these tabs in a minute. First thing you need to do is select the controller you've just added. So when you click on the device itself, you've got the option for RS-45 card reader communication redundancy, or press key to input card number. I'm going to leave those as off by default. We don't need to turn these on. But what we do need to do is go to door 1, and you've got door 1 and door 2, two-door control, like I said, but you've got 2 card readers available on door 2, door 1 and 2 card readers available for door 2, so in and out.
So if I select door 1, we can give it a name, DVS demo room, that's fine. You've got door magnetic sensor, so the door input there. So you've got remain closed, so you can do it normally open or normally closed. There's no resistors on there. Same with the RTE, the exit button. The door lock time there, so we set it 5 seconds default. The door open duration for a disabled person. So actually you can set, when you add it, enroll a card, if you select disabled card, it will actually allow the door to be held open longer to allow those disabled people to get through the door. So if they've got a wheelchair or they're slow moving or they need assistance, it will allow that time for them to get through the door. The door open timeout alarm, so if the door is open for more than 30 seconds, that'll generate an alarm. Enable lock-in when door closed, yes. Duress code, so if you've got a card reader with pin pad and you put the duress code as, say, 999999, if you type that in, it'll raise an alarm to the software. You've got super password and dismiss code. Status duration setting is when you want the door to remain open or closed. So if you want it to be permanently open between a certain time for free flow of people to come in or out, you can set that within here and save it. By default, we're going to leave it so it's card only. And you need to click save at the top there. Save and succeeded. You then go on to the card reader itself. So you select the entrance card reader. So like I said, with the RS-485 control, that we've wired this in RS-485, it gives it, you need to give it an address. So our readers are addressed 1 and 2. What it actually does is, it adds them in, so address 1 slot will be that one, address 2 will be this one, address 3 and address 4. So it actually assigns it by address into the relevant door, in or out reader. So what you'll do is you'll select the first one and you'll give it external vandal reader. Enable card reader, yes, and then you've got the error, buzzer and OK for the external wiring on the back of the harness of the reader if you need it. You can change it from anode to cathode. Enable reader, yes. Minimum card swiping interval, so you can set all of these. By default you don't have to set them, it actually works very well without you having to set any of these, but you've got the minimum card swiping interval, maximum interval when inputting password, so the time between card and then the password to get through the door. Enable failed attempts of the card read, you can put yes and then put the limit on there, so it blocks the card out from being used. So if you put yes, I'm going to actually change back to no by default. The maximum times of the card swiping fail would be how many times before the card is rejected. Enable tampering detection, yes or no. Detect when the card reader is offline for more than, say, 60 seconds or 120 seconds, say. Buzz-in time of 10 seconds, card reader type and card reader description. Now this you can't change. The card reader description actually picks that up from the reader itself, and it lets you identify the model number and the firmware build on that reader currently. So it's a nice way of telling whether the correct reader is set at the correct address for the door you're setting up there. It is the external vandal reader we're looking at, so we're going to click save. We don't have a fingerprint security level on this reader. It doesn't have the fingerprint on there, but you can set it. If you have a reader that's got the fingerprint in there, which I'll do another video on, you can set it to all of these different parameter types here. We'll set it, leave it as low and click save. What we do then is go to the exit card reader 2, which is the other reader we were just talking about. So then we can give that a name, and we can give it internal reader, enable reader, yes. Keep setting all these yes, no to the required thing. That tells me it's a different model number, so I know it's the correct reader. Click save. And we're not using door 2, any of the readers, so I can click on there, enable card reader, no, enable card reader, no. By default, I turn them off, and I can click save. Then you can select your alarm outputs. We do have 4 hardwired outputs on the controller as well as zones, but we can use the event linkage later on in the software to set those up if we need to trigger those based on an event type. But that is what we have to do for minimum operational needs, is set up the readers and the controller like this. Very straightforward so far. So now what we do then, we save that. We'll have a quick look at adding a person in. So if we go to person and card, I'll actually delete myself from here and we'll do it from scratch. apply now. I've already set myself up previously, but we'll set it up now from the beginning so you get an idea. So you go to the person and card management, you click add. So just so you're aware, we support 2 card types. This MyFair 1K Prox card and this MyFair 1K fob. So we sell both of these, but you can use any fob or card as long as it's MyFair 1K Prox. Currently we do only support MyFair 1K Prox. It's something we're looking at for future development. So person number, you can change the number, it has to have a number in there. By default it'll go 1 to whatever. Person name is Dave Davis. Mail, my phone number 999. Date of birth, you don't need my date of birth. Place of birth, Cardiff. Email is dave@dvs.co.uk. We can take a picture, so I can say take photo. I can use my webcam built into my laptop. Or we can choose a picture from here. What you'll find is my webcam is actually being used to capture this here on the capture software. So I can't actually use the webcam to take a photo, although it would normally work. So we'll upload a picture. We'll put a picture on there, and let's see, there should be one of me somewhere lingering. Who doesn't have a picture of themselves ready at any given point in time, me? There we go, that one there. Click open. There we go. And then we've got add card. So at the bottom you've got some, well, we'll add the card first. So we'll go card, we'll go to add. You've got 2 options. So you've got the card type is normal card, or you've got card for disabled person, card in blacklist, patrol card, duress card, super card, visitor card, dismiss card, etc. Most people will go in as normal card. Like I said, the card for disabled person will give the additional hold open time on door. But you've also got these options for different functions within the software. We'll set up a normal card. The remark is big boss man. Password for the card. If I need to use card and pin on the reader, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for instance. Just make sure that's right, yeah. You can do the effective start and end time on it. And now to enroll the card, we can do it 1 of 2 ways. We do a USB card enrollment reader, which plugs into the laptop. We'd select card enrollment reader and then set the card enrollment reader, and then we can do that locally at the PC. Or if we don't have that, we can use access control reader to enroll it. We select our reader from the added thing, so we'll use the external one. Click on read. I take my fob and I read it. So you could hear the beeping sound of the reader. That's the card, it's accepted that there, the card number, normal card. And I can just click stop reading and now click on OK. It's added me in there. I can go to details and type more details in if I need any of these extra details. I can go on permission and then I can set my permissions. I'll do that in a minute. We'll go and set the actual linker door to a permission, and the attendance rules if we're using time and attendance, and we can fill all this in. Time and attendance we'll do a separate video on. So under credential then you've also got face picture, so you can upload a face for the facial recognition record. Again, facial recognition reader, enrollment readers we'll do as a separate video. And then you've got fingerprint. If I was using a combined reader where I needed a fingerprint, I can issue it from here. So I can say select the finger, set fingerprint machine, tell it which fingerprint enrollment reader it is. We do a USB one which would plug in, and then we simply click start, record the fingerprint and then save. Let me just see if I have got the fingerprint reader here, and then I can come back to you. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, okay, I had a look. I don't have the card fingerprint reader, enrollment reader to hand. I do have the USB Prox one though that would plug in, and we'd set it. But that's how you'd set it. So you'd say set fingerprint, start collection, record the number, the fingerprints there on different fingers if needed, and then you just save and continue. So what we'll do now is we'll save, we'll OK that to save. So that's the record gone in there. We can export, get person, add person in batches, issue batch cards, but you can also go and edit the file after. So click on this person, which is me, modify, and you can go and update the records in the background after. What we'll do now is we'll set an actual permission. So let's get rid of that because that's what we set earlier. So by default, it'll be blank. There'll be no permission in there. So you need to add a permission. This permission could be called all doors. Then you've set your template. So you've got whole week blank template test, or add a template so you can make up your time, the days and the times it's valid within. This person by default would be me because I'm the only one within that group, but you can select multiple people within multiple groups. So we'll say yes and add me in as a selected person for this permission. So you probably build, the best way to do this would set up the controller and then do the permission and then add the people. So it's a very straightforward thing to do then. But then you select which doors they're allowed to go through. So you can select it by group, by the DVS demo, or you can select an individual door. We'll select the whole unit, click on add that, and then we'll OK that. And there we go. It says data exchange apply now. We'll update the data to devices, apply now. That will force download to the controller that it's relevant to. So if you add or delete people, it will then say you need to apply it now for the permissions. It will then update it instantly. So it's already applied that, so we can close it. If I then go back to person and card and edit myself, you will see under permission, I've got all doors. So I can remove myself from there. But if I did the permissions first and built all the doors up, I can then go and add it from when I'm administering the person. So either way you can do it. It's whichever works easiest for you. What you'll find then is you can build your templates. You've got your week schedule, blank template, whole week schedule, and test. So you can set up your own schedules, holiday groups, and templates. Pretty straightforward. You've got your permissions, which you've just been through. Your advanced functionality there, and you've got your video intercom, so you can actually add video intercoms into this and manage it all through the same software. You've got your search, you've got your event logs. So if, for instance, you said just click search, it'll give you a full event log in here of everything that's happened within the access control environment, and then we can actually export that fully. What we will do is show you a bit more on that in a second. If I go back to the top, advanced function. That's it for the basic setup. I'll just run through quickly what you can also do in the more advanced functions along the top. So you've got card reader authentication. So card reader authentication, multiple authentication, open door with first card, anti-pass it. These are all advanced stuff. By default, and none of these will be set up, but you can just do the bare minimum and just do what we did, which will give you a bare minimum working system. This is when you can start to somewhat complicate that. But what you can do is card reader authentication. You can select a reader and you can actually tell it whether it needs card and password, whether it's fingerprint only, card and fingerprint, or card or authentication password, or you can click configure. And you can actually have any one of these combinations. So you can have card, password, and fingerprint if that reader type supports it. On the face rec ones, it does face, card, fingerprint, and password all in the same. So you need all four to get through the door. So it's very, very secure. So they're the modes we can have, and then you can set different times for different days. So you could have card and password between this time, and then you need card and fingerprint for this time. So you just drag and drop it. Let's drop that there up till that time. Then card and fingerprint up to there. Then you can have just card on this one. So you can configure different times of the day and different days of the week to have different authentication modes. When you're happy you've done that, you click save. That will update that record there, and you can do that individually per reader. So it is very, very powerful. So the internal reader will just have it as card only. Copy to week. And then save. So that's save. So we've got one that requires different levels of authentication on different days, and then one reader's card only. So depending on the security needed for that area, I assume you can go and build that up as you want. Multiple authentication. So within multiple authentication, you can select the controller. You can select the card group. So it's myself, DVS, for instance, the effective period, the group members, and then what doors, local authentication with remotely open door, super password, etc. Add that in there, click on there, say 3, okay, 1-to-1. Multiple authentication means you have to have more than one person. I've only added myself into this, so it's not really going to work. But you can actually have more than one person required to actually open a specific door. So it's a high security area, like a high-end server room, when you need an IT manager and somebody else needs to both be present, swipe their cards to open then that door. Let's delete that so it doesn't affect anything in the working background. Open door with first card. So the open door with first card function, you can add a person, you can click on that. So you can say DVS demo room, which is the door we set up. You can have disable, remain open with first card, remain open with first card, or first card authorization. So it's basically a way of, so if it's a group of people that need to come in, I can badge in, open the door like a turnstile or a swing gate. Loads of people can go in, like it's a school visit, for instance. And then I can badge it again to close the door, so not everyone has to badge in. So I can open it, let loads of people in, and badge it again to close it. So that's that sort of functionality. We do anti-passback, so you can set the controller anti-passback, and then first card read, external, internal. So you can set like a follow order. So you could say the first card read needs to be the external vandal reader, and then which one goes in which order after that. So like an anti-passback order if you want. We can support anti-controller passback, so cross-controller between different controllers. If you do controller anti-passback, then obviously they need to be network-based, and they all have to be present and alive on the network. We do a based on card anti-passback as well, but it's limited compared to the network version. Multi-door interlocking, so you can set it so only one door can open if another one is closed. So like an airlock, for instance, on a cash office. So we support multi-door interlocking now. Authentication password, so I can, under here, I've got myself in there, my authentication password is 12345, but I can change that. Elevator settings, we do elevator control, but that's quite specialist and you need a special elevator control unit. And we support custom weekend, where you can actually give it a name, so DVS protocol, and then select the device. Then you can start setting up then what those parameters are. So none, total 26, output rule, set, and you can set the manufacturer code, site code, etc. Click on OK, and you can start inputting that information. So if you've got a reader that needs a specific like set of site codes and manufacturer code, etc., a total bit length, you can start doing these custom weekend stuff. If you want to start getting into that, then good luck. We also do a blacklist, where you can blacklist a person for the facial recognition as well. So back to the beginning. So we've set all that up. What we can do now is show you quickly the log. So if I go back to control panel, we do a status monitor here. So click on status monitor. I can click on door status, click on DVS demo, and if I badge in now on this one, it will give you a live status of the door opening and closing. And then it'll show you that for whatever. So if I click on a door, I can open it, close it, remain open or remain closed options from there for any of the doors added to the system. card swiping record, I can click auto select last record and it'll put the latest one at the top. So you've got Big Boss Man Dave there. So we click on that, it'll just keep, so that's telling me it's that one. If I do the other reader, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hash, that'll open the door. One point to remember is if you use the PIN code and input, so you swipe first, then you input the code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you press the hash key, so hash is enter. So again, I double swipe so it didn't allow you. So you can see in the log there, card and password authenticated failed, and that one passed because I did it correctly. So it's a live log, and then access control alarms. If you subscribe to that, you can pick which ones come through to you. So it is a very powerful software. You can also go to the EMAP function, click on EMAP, DVS demo, click on add map, map name, DVS. Let's give it, let's put my head in there. So what we can do then is drag the doors over. So you've got that door there, put it onto my forehead. Put that one there as well. You've got the zones and stuff you can put on there. Events you can drag onto there. What will happen now is, once I exit mode there, when I badge that, you'll see the door is open even on the EMAP, and then you can have that linked to all your cameras, etc. So that's the EMAP function. You've got the status monitor, like I said. And if you go back into the access control, if I now go to the log and then download or update it, so this will update everything from here. When I click on a record, this guy, it'll actually update you with the name, the picture and everything there, and then I can export this log, put it onto a PC, and it's a CSV file, so I can say yes, and that'll be on my desktop, exported, and it's done. That is about all I really want to show you for the access control. I know it's a very, very brief overview. There's a lot more to it, and as the systems grow and expand and get better, we can have a lot more fun with this. It is good as a basic system. Like I say, if you want any more information or you want us to set up or show you anything specifically, let us know. It's very powerful. Hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to your feedback, and see you soon. Don't forget to keep sharing and subscribing. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers, guys.